बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है, मूवी तेरी तोड़े रूल है, तू है डिस्को दीवानी। हाँ ये वर्जित नशा तेरा कर करके करता है, रात ये पूरी बेबी स्लो, अब नींद नहीं आनी। डांस मेरी रानी, नाच 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 मेरी रानी, नाच 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 मेरी रानी, नाच 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 मेरी रानी, नाच 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 डांस मेरी रानी।
Okay. All right, Melanie, thank you for kicking us off with this dance music. Hello, everybody. I'm Susan Asadi. I'm the executive director of this chapter of Global Chamber New York City, and welcome to our May virtual meeting. So I noticed most people have their audio on mute. Just keep it on mute until Melanie asks you to participate so that, between she and I, we can speak. But I think most of you have been asked to become a panelist as well so that you can actually speak. Because of the new format that we're in, you do need to accept the panelist request, otherwise you won't be able to speak. So for anybody here who doesn't know Global Chamber, we are a globally connected community of CEOs, executives, and leaders like yourselves. We are in 607 metro regions and 200 companies, 200 countries. And every day we're working to connect businesses like yours to new growth opportunities. And we're the only chamber of commerce operating everywhere in hundreds of locations. So we work with import and export. We work with service providers. We work with all types of institutions. We have an AI platform, Globi, that helps to make you do business across regions and connect you with other leaders and partners. And you have an opportunity to connect with over 20,000 members and collaborators worldwide. So this chapter meets twice a month. We have a virtual meeting on the second Monday of each month at 5 p.m. where featured members lead workshops in developing special business skill sets. And today we are going to have a session led by Melanie Fox, founder of Speech Fox. She is focusing on empowering executives and public figures to speak clear, confident English through accent reduction, interview, and presentation training. She also trains actors and athletes, right, to master authentic English and dialect, Spanish dialects, particularly she specializes in. And she's also a paid public speaker who helps her audiences hack into language and is the host of a podcast called Hack That Accent. She's an avid networker and runs a chapter of a B2B referrals group anchored in New York, and she's on the board of the New York City chapter of National Speakers Association and is also on the advisory board for Global Chamber New York City. She holds a Bachelor of Science and Master's of Science degree in linguistics from Georgetown University, and we're honored to have Melanie lead our session today. Melanie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Susan. I always love hosting meetings with you, and the Global Chamber community is a great one. And I always tell people if you want to meet people from around the world and get a combination of business and education, this is a great group to meet some wonderful folks. So thank you all for coming on a Monday. And I'm just going to kick it off. We're going to interact as much as possible. You don't want to just hear my squeaky voice the whole time. You want to hear a range of voices, and it'll be much more fun if we all participate. So this is part of the series, Refine Your Ask and Receive Referrals. The riches are in the niches and your elevator pitches. And this part 3, and it's okay if you weren't at part 1 or 2, it stands alone, but part 3 is dedicated to power partners. So first, today's agenda. We're going to do some introductions. I'll introduce myself, and we can also, you guys can write in the chat where you're based and maybe what you do. So something, if you want to pop it in the chat just to keep the chat going. And again, I will take a little time to introduce myself, although I know a lot of you already, which is cool. So then we're going to each think about who one ideal power partner is, and I'll describe what that is and why we want to get one or more. And so we're going to formulate it, do a little deep dive. We'll have a breakout to discuss. If we're if for any reason there's an issue with the breakout, we can always stay together. And then we're gonna work on one more time popping that pitch, but this time for an IPP, the power partner. We're gonna figure out how to ask for that in a networking pitch. And to do that, we're gonna review the elevator pitch structure. Some of you are familiar with my structure. For some of you, it'll be new. Great either way. Then we'll have another breakout to practice that pitch. And then at the end, I will have a download to download a form for your ideal power partner. If you said, hey, I really want to think more critically about it. I just picked one today, but I want to go deeper. That's what my form at the end will be for. I'll have a QR code and everybody can download that towards the end and we'll have some Q&A to wrap up. So, I always like to get started with introducing myself. I'm Melanie Fox. As Susan said, I'm a speech coach. I have 3 specialties: accent reduction, dialect coaching, and presentation and interview training. And what you really need to know about me is everything I own is covered in glitter. And I'm 46. The older I get, the more glitter I must have. So, I love to wear onesies, fox apparel. I was always obsessed with frogs. We'll blame Kermit. This is my husband and I on our wedding day. Of course, I'm wearing glitter. And this is me recovering from a life-threatening illness where I had to learn how to walk and use my face again. But of course, I covered my walker in glitter and technology, including my LED lights and fuzzy dice and fox things. So I like to have fun wherever I go, even in less than ideal circumstances. Enough about me. I'll check the chat. Are you guys telling us where you... Oh, yes. So we've got some folks in Brooklyn. Woo, I was born there. And New York City via Singapore and Puerto Vallarta. And with a New York cell phone, that's really cool. So feel free, you could share, as early on you want to put some stuff in the notes, but then I'm going to come to, put anything you like in the chat. And then when I ask questions, we'll stop doing that and answer some fun questions. So here comes the first one. Taking the pulse of the room. Dun, dun, dun. All right, pulse done. Pulse doesn't want to go. All right, now we go. All right, so there's no right answer here. But what I want you to do is pick the one that best describes you and your go-to move when you network. So when you make an ask in your networking meetings, which one do you most typically do? Is the ask, and put in the chat a 1, if you say what you do and then let the audience decide who they're going to refer you. If you do that, put a 1. If you like casting a wide net, asking for a lot of different things or keeping the door open to a big set of profiles, then put a 2. I did this a lot when I first started networking, and I'll tell you why. I was nervous that if I picked just one area, I would limit. And there are pros and cons to that, but put a 2 if you like casting a wide net. Number 3, if you like to describe the profile of your ideal client, put that number in the chat. If you like to describe the profile of a strategic referral partner, put a 4 in the chat. And if you like to ask for one specific company or person and pinpoint it, put a 5 in the chat. So there are no wrong or right answers. It would just be nice to see what people tend to do as your go-to move when you network. So I see, let's see. And again, no right or wrong answers. These are all preferences and your business may dictate which one is best for you. So I see a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Do we have a 5? Sometimes I ask for a 5. I'm going to put a 5. Sometimes I tend to do 3 and 4 the most, like Susan does. But again, no wrong answers. It's just what tends to be better for you. And I'll describe when I think. So today, Nikki has a 1 and a 5. Hey, Nikki, nice to see you here. Yeah, I think these all have a time and a place. And today we're going to focus on number 4, but that doesn't mean it's always the right answer. It's hard to do number 4 sometimes, so we'll figure out a good way to do it. All right, next ask. Do you often ask in your referral meetings, and you can pick any of these numbers that describe you, for, and bear with me while I describe this, put a 1, or at least add a 1, if you typically say, I want to meet someone who, say I was reducing cost as like a cost event, what do you call it? Expense optimizer or someone who reduces expenses. If I were doing that, I would say, number 1 would be, I want to meet someone who wants to reduce their expenses. That's a number 1. If you say, I want someone who needs to reduce their costs, that's a number 2. If you say, I want to meet someone who says, I have huge expenses and I want to reduce my costs, that's a 3. If you say, I want to meet someone who works in the event space, or I want to meet someone who works in finance, put a 4. And if you say, I want to meet someone whose clients are event planners or whose clients are financial advisors or whose clients are doctors, then put a 5. So it'd be great to see what the next list has brought. Okay, it looks like we've got ones, twos, threes, fours, and fives again, which is great. We've got diversity in the room. I'm going to say for me, I typically, okay, we've got 1 and 2. And so I'm in some networking groups where they tend to lead you to 1 and 2. I have to say, in my networking groups, since I'm in a B2B space, I tend to lean towards 4 and 5. But some people are in businesses where there's not a specific profile. It's more people who confess that they need or, want something, or that they say something out loud. So again, no wrong or right answers, but I'm going to try to steer you guys today towards number 4 and 5. And this is why. If you picked 1 or a 2, again, there's nothing wrong with that answer. And I'm in one group where I guess, template for asking is, I want to meet someone who really wants this or desires this. And there's nothing wrong with that. That can work. But the challenge with telling me what somebody wants is I need to read their mind. So I know someone in one of my networking groups that says, I want to meet people who want to go green. I have 16,600 people in my LinkedIn as of today, something like that. I have no idea who wants to go green from that group. Somebody says, I want to meet people who are tired of shopping on Amazon. Again, no clue of the 16,000. If you tell me I want to meet someone who says I hate Amazon, okay, maybe number 3 could grab me somebody, but they may still use Amazon. They just may be bad. They just may be mad at Jeff Bezos or something. So I don't know. So telling me what your ideal client wants or needs can be challenging for me to figure out who that is. So it's great to figure out what they have that's more concrete. If you said my ideal client says this, wait for someone who says I hate QuickBooks, or again, I'm thinking of moving. This could be good, but I just need to wait until that happens. It's not as proactive, and I can't look on my LinkedIn and know this. I could look on my LinkedIn and see who posts about certain topics, but again, this is a very reactive piece. So my thought is, if you were in the last question saying 1, 2, or 3, I will challenge you to think of additional ways today to come up with some pitches, but it's not wrong. And so let's talk about power partners. Thanks, ChatGPT, for making this cool image today. What is a power partner? Well, a power partner, and I didn't coin this phrase, a power partner is somebody who is not your competitor and has similar clients to you. So let me say it the reverse way. A power partner is somebody who has similar clients to you, similar client profiles, similar ICP, right? Ideal client profile, but is not your competitor. So for me, I work with a lot of non-native speakers. Who could be a good power partner for me? Well, an immigration attorney could be a good power partner for me. We both serve folks who may be new to the US, but I don't do law and they don't do speech coaching. So if I coach people to refine their accent, then that can be a good power partner for me. I also work with actors, so agents can be good for me, or even photographers that take headshots of actors could be good power partners, because I don't take photos and I don't help actors with their bookings and their auditions, but I do help them do dialects when they're called for an audition with a dialect. And last but not least, in presentation and interview training, maybe people who run events or people who have speakers bureaus. I don't get people the speaking gigs, but I help people create the PowerPoint decks and create the content and the calls to action on their speaking gigs. So again, these are power partners. None of these are my competitors, but we all have similar clients in my different lanes. So today, the idea is for you to think about who is a good power partner and how do you pitch to ask for one of those in a networking meeting. So this is just an idea, and this is a little bit text, maybe a little extra, but when you think of a power partner, again, you're thinking of someone who serves the same profile but are not competitors. And why are they good? They're good for making referral relationships. I can refer to them. They can refer to me. We may not need to pay each other to do so because there's an equal give and take. You might say, hey, I give a finder's fee. I want to give them a fee and they're going to make money with me over time. Great. So that could be the referral relationship. It could be monetary, or it could just be reciprocal, or maybe both. It also may just help you expand your reach. Maybe you don't refer people outright, but you do joint webinars together, or you bring them to your networking groups and they bring you to their networking groups. So they could help you get referrals, they could help you expand your reach, and then you can uncover collaboration opportunities. Maybe again, you do something joint. Maybe you even host an event together that you co-create. Maybe you write about each other in each other's newsletters and highlight that way. So these are all great things that you can do with a power partner. And so this is, if you're in B2C, just going back a step, we're looking at people's clients. So how do you know if somebody has similar clients to you? Are they in the same age? If you're selling B2C, you would think of the age range, the gender, education level, income, location, cultural background, language, marital status, lifestyle, interests, hobbies. Any of these things can be something that you could think of in who is my ideal client? Therefore, if the partner has the same type of client, we're good partners. So these are things that we went over last time when we talked about ideal client. So think of your ideal client, and then we'll work backwards to figure out who's the partner that's going to refer you there. Think about their clients' psychographics, right? What are their values? What are their traits? What keeps them up at night? What problems are they trying to solve? What's at stake if they don't solve this? Your clients, you and the partner may share the client's psychographics and pain points and motivations. They may be using you for different things, but the clients have this in common. And in the messaging, you can consider the client's buying behavior and where to find them. If I'm working to find actors, I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm not going on LinkedIn for actors. When I work with athletes, also Instagram. They're not on LinkedIn. When I go for the big corporates, they are on LinkedIn, right? So, and maybe the actors are also on TikTok. So you think about your audience. Where do you find them? That's where you'll probably find your partners because they're going to be selling to them in the same place. And I noted other types of places. They're not all online platforms. They might be in physical communities or locations, and they may consume similar content. So you might think, oh, well, I have a podcast. I'm going to find a podcaster that has a similar audience. So these are things to keep in mind. When we talk about B2B, again, you don't have to read all the fine print, but if you're selling to an individual, when you think of your ideal client, you're thinking of their traits. When you think of a B2B strategy, you're thinking of the company's traits, right? What industry is the company in? What size is that company? Are they located somewhere specific? Are they in a specific growth stage? Who owns them? Are they growing? Are they scaling? And who is the decision maker at that company you want to meet? Do they have a specific title? Is it, for me, like a chief human resources officer is great. The department might be what leads me, the seniority level, or even things that they're responsible for. So again, just in getting your mind around who is your target client, we want to then back it up and say, okay, who else sells to this client that is not my competitor? So in your messaging, you can consider these pain points and their buying cycles. And again, this is not the focus today. This was kind of the ideal client profile from last time, but I'm just reminding you these, especially for the folks who weren't there are things that trigger them to buy. We need to know about when they buy, how they buy, and where to find those people. All right. So now let's have a breakout session. Before we pop that pitch, let's try to think of who our target power partners are. So I'm going to use now, Caesar, I'm going to stop my share for a bit to put you in groups. Let's use some host tools. Let's see if it works. This is a different format than last time, so I don't know if I can break us into groups. Susan or Caesar, do you guys have we switched gears a little bit. I
don't know how to do that with this.
Okay, so with this type of webinar, I don't think I can break us into groups, which is totally fine. I was debating not doing that anyway. So let's pivot and talk about it as a whole together. So I would love for you guys to raise your virtual hand and tell me what you do and who is your target power partner. And you can type them in the chat as well, but hopefully you won't be too shy. So raise your virtual hand, or maybe I'll call on someone. Oh, Leon, tell us, what do you do and who is a great power partner for you?
Yes, well, thanks, Melanie. That was a great intro talk, and I learned a lot. So what I do is I try to find deals, companies that are looking to buy other companies or companies that are looking to sell the company. And it's investment banking, basically. So my ideal power partner would be other companies that are in the same universe, as you said. And I guess one slight nuance is that I would be open to some extent to work with competitors if they're not direct competitors. So I
Okay.
do work with other investment banks or other companies that are involved in the M&A process, the M&A life cycle. So valuation companies, accountants, lawyers, people like that. So I would generally approach networking with them by saying that, we can work together on deals. I can share some of my relevant deals with you. You can share some of your deals with me. And we could do fee sharing, or it could be on the basis, as you mentioned, of reciprocity.
That's great. So you said value people who do valuations, attorneys, accountants. This is great because I've been in several meetings with you, and I didn't know that I could refer these people just yet, and now I do, and I have some people that I want to introduce you to. So please put that in the chat and follow up with me afterwards. I have 3 ideas of who I
Great,
can
thank you.
introduce you to. And one thing I'll say is, it's very, um, it's a nice intermediary, or it's a nice soft step in between asking for your ideal clients and leaving it open to ask for the power partners. Why am I saying this? Say I'm brand new to a meeting, they don't know me, and I say, please introduce me to an all-star athlete. Maybe they're like, oh, I don't know Melanie yet, and I have this really good potential client for her, but we just met. I just heard her talk for 30 seconds, and while she seems friendly and knowledgeable, I just met her, so I can't introduce this client and be like, hey, client, you need Melanie. But if I say, hey, I love to refer back and forth with agents because I'm not an agent and they're not a speech coach, and I can help their clients make more money, and I could potentially refer people to them if they're up and comers, they might say, oh, yeah, I'll totally introduce Melanie to the agent because they will help each other make money. So if you're asking, if you're making an ask in a room of folks that you don't know, then asking for the power partner may be an easier ask than asking for the client. I saw someone's hands up, but then that hand went down. I apologize if I spoke too long and then you second guessed. I think it was Emily. Emily, are you still there? Uh-oh. Okay, I think I may have lost Emily, but does anyone else want to share a power partner? Oh, I see Susan. Susan, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just going to respond to Leon because actually one of my power partners are investment bankers, people who are trying to raise money, raise profile. If a company is scaling, typically they're looking to raise money. So actually, Leon and I have had a couple of discussions about some potential business. But yeah, so the best connection for me, Melanie, would be people who are trying to raise money or raise their profile or scaling. So it does end up being investment bankers, institutional investors, sometimes high net worth individuals. Those are the kind of people that are good
Excellent.
power
And
partners
just
for me.
because you're always being altruistic and saying about the Global Chamber, tell us what you do.
Oh, I do public relations.
Yeah.
I help small to medium sized business get exposure in top tier media, usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies.
Which now makes perfect sense because the Fortune 500 companies will work with these powerful people. And it's great to know that if I refer to Leon, I might be able to refer to you, Susan, at the same time. Okay, and Stephanie, I saw your hand.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Stephanie Gross. I'm with Bumby Wool out of Red Deer, Alberta, and we're building the network of Global Chamber in Alberta between Edmonton and Calgary. I think I've met some of you before. So my ideal power partner, so we make the most amazing custom merino wool clothing. So full garments, sweaters, and dresses, and we do a lot of customization. We're a full fashion house. Our gateway into the business, though, is through our B2B partners. So I'm looking to expand that network in the United States, especially. We had so many before, and a lot of them didn't make it through COVID, and the tariffs really put a nail in the coffin for quite a few. So little independent shops, the indies that are really hard to get into the door with, they're always so busy. So, and we make winter gear and artisanal soap with lanolin and tallow, and just those lower price point items and those really fun, unique shops that like to sell, like the support local, support small, and we're low waste. So if anybody knows, any of those sorts of partnerships, and I love supporting what you're talking about, Susan, like supporting those small businesses. We actually manufacture, so I love collaborating with other manufacturers and sharing that knowledge to support each other rather than reinventing the wheel constantly or just trying to sell things. I would rather collaborate, work together. How can we, it's not, yeah, I guess it's just how can we support one another and then symbiotically grow and all those sorts of things. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And I feel like when you collaborate with someone, you have such an extra unique offering. Maybe they dovetail and go together, or somebody could buy a gift that has multiple layers or something like that of parts of the gift that's not just one item, but the collab of two businesses. So that's really great. Does anybody else want to share? We have some more time to pass the mic to you, and it's a good opportunity to shout yourself out. Christopher, I owe you a meeting, and I'm extra happy to highlight you. We are in the same space, and I love other folks in the space. So say what you do, and also say who your power partner is.
Hi, my name is Christopher Phillips, and my company is called Beautiful American English, and I teach English language. I think someone like you would be a perfect power partner for me because I work with people who need to speak better. You work with people who have the pieces of the language. I teach them the language. People whose trouble isn't their accent necessarily. It is how to speak English. And another perfect power partner for me would be something like a moving company or people who help expatriates settle here, or a private school that has students coming from overseas who need help with their English, or an immigration lawyer.
Excellent.
You could do the accent, but if they don't know that the past tense of think is thought, I can do that part.
That's great. And you also do writing as well, right, Christopher?
Yes, I was an editor at the New York Times for over 20 years, and so a lot of people come to me for writing help, particularly for websites and for applications to colleges or for grants or that kind of thing.
That's
Yes.
excellent. And I feel like sometimes when I get a lead, they have children, so I may be working with the parent and the child may be doing a college application, and I can help them with the interview, but I don't do the application part or the essay. So this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And you could do the interview for my people.
See how this works? Well, thank you, Christopher. This just shows two people that could have theoretically been competitors are very simpatico, as they say. And Nikki Turner, welcome to the meeting, and please share with us what you do and who your strategic power partner could be. Nikki, can you unmute? I saw your hand, then I lost you. Oh, I think Nikki has to be allowed to talk. Okay, I clicked on you, Nikki.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I
Sorry,
can.
that was a feature of our system. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't understand why I can't turn my camera on, but hello, I'm Nikki Turner, founder of Hopefully Me Solutions. I facilitate workshops and coaching focused on parenting, communication, emotional awareness.
Oh, and Nikki, you should be able to turn your video now. I promoted you to panelist. Does that work?
There we go.
There's Nikki. Yay. Okay, go ahead.
Did you hear any of that?
Yes, we heard it. We just didn't see you. And I know that you have a beautiful
I'm just
smile, so I
helping
wanted to
people.
promote.
Okay, thank you. I'm helping people better understand why they keep reacting the same way during stress and conflict. And my power partners are therapists, behavioral and mental professionals, school counselors, educators, parent organizations, wellness practitioners. That's about it for now.
Excellent. That's great. So folks in the wellness space that serve the same clients as you, and I got the chance to hear one of Nikki's talks for moms, and yeah, I wonder if like PTAs even
Yes.
could be good referrals, or I wonder if some sources where the moms hang out are libraries. In this day and age, I don't know. But yes, I feel like this is lots of potential collaborators for you. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And anybody else before we switch to the next section? Oh, Bernardita, go ahead. Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, Bernadita. Can you unmute?
I am on mute. So yes, my name is Bernadita Calinao, and I'm the founder and CEO of Walkspan. Walkspan sells neighborhoods. So our partner would be real estate brokers who wish to increase their sales and attract new clients because our neighborhood intelligence platform provides very detailed information on neighborhoods, lifestyle essentials, and neighborhood vibe, which clients would be amazed at. And it's also what they want besides property. They want to understand neighborhood.
Excellent. And so the real estate people will tell the people who are searching, and those B2C people are the buyers, or is the real estate the buyer?
The real estate would be the buyer. The real estate would be the company. So it's a B2B, and they would have a tool to help their clients find
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
So then is there a partner in between that will get you more of those real estate agents? So the real estate agents are the ideal client. So then who can introduce you to more real estate agents? Is it like a
Maybe you can tell me.
this is it, right? This is a good one. So are
Yeah.
there real estate organizations maybe where the real estate agents hang out?
So that would be a good one, and to meet more real estate people. Yeah, that's
Yeah, and maybe even like I don't know if this is a good one, but I feel like the real estate attorneys may have a lot of real estate agents that refer into them, or vice versa, or maybe even the people that do, I don't know. I guess if you meet other folks in real estate that love meeting agents, I'm guessing that people who are interior designers love meeting the real estate agents because that's who hires them.
Yeah.
So maybe
That's a
like the
good
interior
point.
designers, the real estate,
Yeah, I
and
didn't think about that. Yeah.
yeah, think about where the real estate agents hang out. Who gives them their business? So they're going to love on those people. So if you can find out where they go for their business and who they refer back and forth to, I feel like those would be great people. And then you could say, oh, these are the real estate agents I know. You might want to meet them and they could do the same for you. So yeah, I don't typically sell into real estate, but I know a lot of folks who do. So definitely ping me after. Maybe I can make some good intros.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, so I'm going to move on, but again, you could feel free to put your good power partners in the chat so that everyone can see them. And I encourage everybody to save the chat. If the chat doesn't save, then we can save it and email it to you. All right, so let's go back to the PowerPoint deck. And part 2 is to make that pitch. Pop that pitch to the IPP, or for the IPP. And IPP meaning the ideal power partner. So as I mentioned, this is the kind of recap of you've been to a few presentations, and this one we're going to pitch to the ideal power partner. Last time we pitched to the ideal client profile. So you might recognize this format if you've seen me before. What do you want to include in your pitch? Well, I kept a gap on purpose. You want to start with your name in general. Yes, you can switch it up and be fancy and do your name second. But even if someone said, oh, everybody meet Melanie, I'm going to repeat. I'm Melanie Fox, Speech Fox. Or they call me I'm Melanie Fox, and they call me Speech Fox because speech is my niche. That's what I usually like to say first. My business category. I help my clients speak clear and confident English through accent reduction, dialect coaching, and presentation training. That's what I usually say in my business for like a one-liner. And then at the end, I have a tagline. But in the middle, just going back, in the middle, you want to think about who you want to meet and if you can tell a brief success story about how you helped them. So this should be a coordinated thing. That's why you can do it in 30 seconds. If I say, I want to meet, so a new thing for me is I want to meet people in Toastmasters. Why? Because the non-native speakers can work with me. They're already very advanced speakers, but they have an accent, and I want to meet folks in Toastmasters. So if what I want to meet are chapter leaders at Toastmasters, and my success story can be I had a client, Shizuka from Japan. She was in a Toastmasters, and the feedback she got was, I don't understand your English. So she worked with me, and I helped her not only pronounce English, but to win her local and regional competition. I'd love to meet other people who run chapters of Toastmasters. I can help their participants. And then I end with my tagline, which is Speech Fox, accents speak louder than words. This is a 30-second type of introduction. Yes, I've done this before. However, you can easily think of who is the IPP that you want to meet that you were just talking about, right? And what's a story about either that type of person who you helped grow their business or the same kind of client that they want to meet, you want to meet. So if Leon says, I like to meet folks that are in valuation, maybe he helped a company grow so that they were purchased for way more than they were worth when he met them. So maybe he gave them certain advice or strategy or helped somebody sell for higher or whatever it was. But if you say that I love to meet people who do valuation because we can help each other, we serve the same client, that could be how your success story of helping this business either somebody purchase a business or sell a business or whatever, and that's why you want to be people in valuation, that success story and your IPP line up. That's why you can get that done in 30 seconds. And then if you can end with a tagline, that's wonderful. If you don't have one, just repeat your name in your category. And so then the who you want to meet drives the success story. Think of who you want to meet first. Who could this room produce for me? And then tell a success story that will make it relevant. I always joke, when you have 30 seconds, I invite you to cut the crap. What is the crap? If you're in a BNI group and you have 30 seconds and you say, Good morning, BNI 12, spring has sprung, and okay, the clock is going. Fillers, they're fancy ones, not just and like. You could say, basically, what we do is we also have not said anything yet. The thing that makes me squirm or makes my eye twitch is when people say, so basically what we do is we go in, we sit down. Does that actually contribute to the ask or anything that you do? No. You go in, you sit down, sure, but you don't have to say that out loud. And finally, if you say thank you and bow, this is not that kind of a thing when you're doing a pitch. So just take out all this stuff and you shall have 30 seconds for really good stuff. Make sure when you do your pitch, you're loud enough to be heard. You're not reading. If I read, there are some problems. The first thing that happens to people when they read is this. I know you're reading and I can't see you. So don't do that. If you're reading from a device, you might look like you're sad or, having a bad day because you're looking down. If you're reading from a screen that you popped up and you're doing this, then somebody can see. Or if you've got the screen above you, then you're doing this, or the screen below you, you're doing this. So try not to read. You can make yourself maybe a bullet about who you want to meet and like a bullet to remind yourself of what the success story had. But don't write out your sentences and definitely don't read from a device. Make your ask really clear. Don't beat around the bush. Say, I would love to meet da da da. Say who that is. And when you're on Zoom, don't mute yourself as you're doing your ending. People mute themselves all the time. They'll say, I'm Melanie Fox. Right? You could say I was talking, but my volume went away. So that's not good. If you're in person, don't sit while you're ending. Stand through the whole thing, let the buzzer go off, then sit. All right. Ask yourself, would somebody else in the room, a member of that meeting or guest, recall what you do, remember who you want to meet, the power partner, and have enough of that success story that they could say, oh yeah, I know that Melanie she did da 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 for some people, so I think you'd be a good partner for her, right? It doesn't need to be long. The shorter, the better. And if you have a tagline, your catchy spoken signature, if you don't have one, just repeat your name and your business name or your name and what you do. It'll be fine. It'll be like a sandwich. If you have a go-to tagline, feel free to throw it in the chat. But I want to spend most of the time now doing your pitch. And I am happy to time you just to annoy you. So, yes, it's challenging to do a pitch in 30 seconds, but that's the whole point of practicing amongst friends. We're all here to help each other, give feedback, and stuff like that. All the fun stuff. So I'm going to put on a 30-second timer, and I would love for you guys to try it out. It does not have to be perfect. It's going to help you because one of these days you're going to get to a meeting. They're going to say you have 30 seconds, and you're going to say, oh, crap, I should have practiced when I had the chance. So let's all try to participate. So I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. You can see the template, and I will give you some feedback. And the feedback is not to be critical. I'm not the end all be all, but I'm going to listen for who you wanted to meet and why. And if I can understand those things, I'm probably going to really like your pitch. If you don't have those things, I may give you the critique that I don't know who to introduce you to, and you could help me by making that really clear in 30 seconds. So who is brave and wants to try a pitch and including an ask for your power partner? Does anyone want to try it? I encourage you to do so. And if not, we'll make Susan do it. No, I'm just raise your hand if you want Susan to do it, and then I'll call on you by accident. No, really. Anybody brave enough to try? And again, you don't have to write everything down. You can look at the screen, you know your name, you know your company, think about the power partner you already formulated, and just ask for them. If you're like, okay, I don't have a success story, then skip the success story and just say, I want to meet blah, blah, blah. I think we'd have mutual referral capabilities because we both serve X, right? That's another way to do it, right? So if I say, I would love to meet, I'm Melanie Fox, I'm a speech coach, and I help people who are non-native speakers speak clear and confident English. I would love to meet an immigration attorney because they serve non-native speakers as I do, and we can refer each other. So who do you know who's an immigration attorney? I'd love to meet them. Speech Fox, accents speak louder than words. I made that up because I'm just riffing off of what we said, just to show you it doesn't need to be that complicated. That was easily 30 seconds or less. All right, so who's feeling brave? Anybody?
Well, I don't mind giving it a shot.
Yay, Leon. All right, you get a gold star for being the first participant 2 times in a row. All right, so you start, I'll start the clock, and it will play you off with violins like at the Oscars at the end.
Oh, okay. So just let me know when you're starting the clock.
Yeah, you start, and I'll hit the button to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I'll start right now. So my name is Leon Pereira. I'm based here in New York City. I'm looking for companies that want to sell the business or companies that want to buy other companies. And I would love to meet people who are active in that space so that we can share deal information, we can share referrals, and we can share fees that come out of those deals. Our advantage is that we work across countries and we cover all 4 regions of the world, so we can bring international companies into deals. And we have some experience in your industry, blah, blah, blah.
And go ahead and end. What's your ending?
Well, okay, I don't have anything to say about your industry, but I would just put in a sentence
Yes,
to
yes.
say
No,
that
I'm
we
saying
have.
the ending. How would you end it?
Oh, how would I end it? So we would love to keep in touch and be introduced to people who would like to collaborate with me.
Okay, great. So I'm going to say, I heard a lot of good things, but I missed the thing that you came up with the last time. So, and you guys, you can see, I don't bite, I'm just giving advice. So my thought is, I love the fact that you said we work with people buying and selling businesses and that you serve across countries. What I didn't ask for it, what I didn't hear is, can you introduce me to people you know in valuation, accounting, or business law? Because you mentioned those before. I would
Right.
call those out in this. So if you say, I'm Leon, this is my company, we buy and sell, we help people buy and sell businesses, or we help with the finance around it, and we're especially uh, useful or versatile because we can work across countries. Do you know anybody who's in valuations or accounting to international businesses or international business law? I don't know if that's the right thing, but I would go with one, maybe
Right.
two, especially if they're related. So, do you know anybody who does business law or business valuation? I would love to meet them. And then say your name and company again. So I loved everything except you didn't make the clear ask. You asked me if I know anybody who wants to sell or who wants to meet with you. And I don't know who wants to meet with you, but I do know who in my LinkedIn do valuations. And I do know who in my LinkedIn is an accountant. And I could look for things like international tax. I don't know. You tell me. But I think Germayer in this group might be a fit, right? Because he's international. Anyway, so let's do it one more time. This time, make the really clear ask and cut the other part a little shorter so that you can end in the 30 seconds. And then you will get your asks from the room who hears what you want. All right, one more time. Go ahead and start.
Okay, my name is Leon Pereira. I'm based here in New York City. I help companies to sell the business, and I also help companies to buy other companies. We are different from other investment bankers because we operate across the 4 regions of the world. We can bring international buyers and sellers to the table. We have experience in the vertical that is very relevant to you, be it food service or whatever it is. And I'm looking to meet companies in the space that could be lawyers, tax advisors, valuation, accounting people who handle M&A deals.
Excellent. That was much better. You were going really strong until you said something about your vertical or something like that. So if you just went with the I help people buy and sell companies and the cross country, and I would just pick one or two of those things. Do you know anybody in valuations? Do you know anybody who is, does valuations. I think we can refer business to each other, or we help each other's clients. And then just say, I'm Leon Pereira and I am going to buy and sell your business or whatever. And I buy and sell international businesses, whatever it might be, or I help people buy and sell international businesses. That would be a fine tagline, I think. Of course, you can refine that, but I think that was great. So let's give Leon a hand. I think that was very good, brave, and we got to hear your ask multiple times because you were so brave and did this for us. So please give him what he's asking for if anybody knows those types of leads. Does anybody else have the bravery and strength and courage to try their own pitch for asking for their strategic power partner? I see a lot of smiling faces. It's not that bad. Leon still survived. He has no obvious wounds. Anybody else want to give it a try? I see people running away. Okay, that's not good. Who wants to stay? Oh, yes, Nikki, I see your physical hand. Nikki, I see you. Let's do this. And I will start the timer when you start speaking. Again, who you are, quickly what you do, if you want to tell a success story or not, but who you want to meet really clearly so that we can refer them and then just wrap up at the end. All right, you go and I'll start the clock.
All right. I'm Nikki Turner. I'm founder of Hopefully Me Solutions. I partner with parents, educators, mental health professionals, providing workshops and practical tools to help them with overwhelm, reduce burnout, and giving practical tools that they can use in real time. A good referral for me are therapists, educators, parents, anyone who work with children in general.
Okay, and then wrap it up. What's your ending? I'm Nikki. Yeah.
Oh, catch the moment before it catches you.
Oh, nice. And I found my spotlight button. So sorry, I didn't highlight you big before. I didn't spotlight you, Leon. So I can spotlight you again if you want to say hi on the big screen. But yes, this was great. So what I heard was therapists, educators, parents, it just went a little too many things. So I would just say, again, pick two related ones or pick one. You could say like, I would love to meet therapists or I would love to meet family therapists, right? Maybe ones that purposely work with parents and kids. So I'd pick one. Now, parents are your target client, so I wouldn't throw them in the ICP. You could say I work with parents, but I'd say I'd love to meet family therapists. I think that could be the whole ask for one networking meeting. Or if you want to meet teachers, but I don't know if teachers refer as much, but maybe they do. Again, maybe the PTA leaders of the PTA or something like that. I'm not sure how you meet the parents that work with you, but my thought is pick one and stick to it. So I would think instead of just saying therapist, one idea, not the idea, but one idea could be family therapist because they probably work with parents and kids and you could be a great resource for them. So just trying it out, just for fun. Let's try it one more time. Cut the middle part short. I liked how you started, but then it started to meander. So instead of talking about, you can just say what you help the parents to do to find whether it's to better communicate with their children. And then I'd love to meet family therapists, and we'd have opportunity for mutual referrals or however you want to say why you and family therapists would be a good match. And then end with your name and tagline. So let's try one more time. Less is more, and let's try it just for, as someone told me, kicks and giggles, which takes away the curse word, but just for kicks and giggles, let's try it with a family therapist. All right, one more time. Let's hear it, Nikki.
All right. I'm Nikki Turner, founder of Hopefully Me Solutions. I partner with parents to help to help improve communication with their children and have more harmony in their home and everyday life. A good referral are family therapists. So catch the moment before it catches you.
Excellent. You had 10 seconds left, so you could probably add a piece in there of why you'd be good referral partners, but it was very clear. The only thing I would say is I know that your brand is Wholefully Me. When you said it quickly, it sounded like Hopefully Me or Wholefully, like I don't know, hopeful and whole could be Wholefully Me.
Slow down.
I would just say Wholefully Me, just to overly slow it so that people can understand the brand. But that was great. So everybody, hand for Nikki. That was super helpful, and we know who she wants to meet. So family therapists, educators, PTA people, and folks who know parents would be great referrals. And do they need to be in your area, or can they be anywhere in the country or world?
They can be anywhere.
Anywhere in the country.
Well,
Great.
for the workshops specifically in Arizona, but I also have a program where I can work with all types of people.
Got it. And just in case anyone's there, where in Arizona are you?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, if we got Phoenix people in the house, please, you guys should meet up for coffee. Alrighty, I have time for one more, or I can move on. Susan, do you think anybody else wants to go? Have you seen any hands, or should I move it?
I haven't seen any hands, but you could call on somebody.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anybody? Anybody? Let's see. Hey, Meng Wei, we haven't heard from you. Do you want to try it? Or am I picking on you and you rather? Okay.
It's okay. I could try. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you totally well. And thank you for
Okay.
allowing me to pick you. But I saw that you were in the panel, you were smiling, and I said, you know what? Let's just ask. Okay, you could always turn me down.
I'm gonna try. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, go ahead and I'll start the timer when you go.
Okay. My name is Mangwi Fawn, and I work with women who have survived major health life challenges and are now in survivorship phase and are rebuilding their lives. They're working with identity loss, confidence shifts, and uncertainty about what's coming next. I help them rebuild identity, restore confidence, and rediscover purpose in what I call their second chapter, their new youth season. And pretty much it's a program that's going to be able to help them, like a 6-week program that's going to be able to help them transition into that. So the result is pretty much from them feeling stuck after survival and getting clarity and emotional strength about their new direction in life and their next chapter. I love to connect with organizations, communities, or businesses or leaders that work with women in recovery, survivorship, or healthcare transitions or personal reinvention who may be open to collaboration or referrals. That's it for now.
Excellent. Okay, so I heard the
Sorry.
beginning. No. I would say it was long for 30 seconds, but you got a lot in. So let's pick.
Okay.
It started off really strong. I love that you work with folks who've survived major health crises. I think that was super clear. I think right after that, to go to what they get when they work with you, because I think what you did was described the details of the program a little bit. I know to you it's probably not the detail, but to 30 seconds it's detail. So I would say, what did they? We know who your client is. So what is the result after they work with you?
Pretty much they get like a roadmap of like their new I guess personality, their new you. So that's pretty much what the program is
So
about.
they get a roadmap to their next chapter, I think you said?
Yes, pretty much, yes.
Okay, so you kind of help them transition to their next chapter. I think saying that may be enough, right? Like I work with people who survive major life trauma or health trauma, and my program provides a roadmap to help them transition to their next chapter. I want to meet, and now who are the professionals that work with these people? Like name their title or industry. Are they physical therapists? Are they doctors? Are they some other type of person? Are they career coaches? Who's in there with these people?
It could be like therapists and counselors and so forth, because it's more like a safe space for people that have actually survived. It's not people that are major trauma. So it's like after the trauma.
Yeah, so maybe it's a trauma therapist. Again, just to be really specific, because some people are like counselors for divorce, some people are counselors that specialize in children. It sounds like for you, it would be somebody who specializes in trauma. I don't know I believe there are trauma therapists or therapists I know some therapists that I've heard say I specialize in trauma. So I'm going to go with that exists. If I'm wrong, you can forgive me and correct it in your speech. But my thought is, what if you try again? And this time, I know we're at 6. So let me do this. I'm happy to stay after for a moment, but I'm going to just make sure I end the meeting. I was so excited about your pitch that I kept going, but hold that thought. No. This was great. So I'm going to have Q&A at the end. So don't go anywhere if you don't have to. But I just want to tell everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So I'm just going to go back to my screen share a moment. My computer has done its fun stuff and I need to go back to the screen. All right, hold on one second. There we go. All right, so where do we go from here? Well, you can do some other variations, putting your name second, having a fun fact, a myth, something. But I wanted to say everybody is invited. Going back here, I network a lot. You're invited to any of the events I go to practice your elevator pitch. let me know by emailing me. And another way is scan this code. You will get my full document that talks about how to figure out who your power partner is and how you can use common language to entice them to work with you. So please do scan this code. And if you can't scan the code, you can type in the URL and it will ask you, if you type in the URL, for the code, which is GCNYC, like Global Chamber New York City, IPP for Ideal Power Partner. The code will take you there directly. The link will ask you for this code. And I will pause for Q&A, but while we're pausing for Q&A, I'll put back up a sign that says, "Thank you so much for participating. I appreciate you. I appreciate the feedback." And this code will also allow you to submit feedback for me, which could be a testimonial, if you please. And certainly you could share feedback for what you want to hear next time if I do another one of these with Global Chambers. So thank you once again. I'll leave this code up for a moment. And I will actually go back to the other screen, which had the other way to log it. And then I will ask, does anyone have questions? We'll do questions, and then I can go back to Mangwi if you want to do a part 2. Okay, I don't see any questions. So Susan, did you have any extra announcements for Global Chamber stuff?
Yeah, I actually do, because I don't know if everybody can hang around. So for everyone on this call on May 11th, which is next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that's whatever it is in LA, 11 a.m. West Coast, but 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a session on fraud, the silent assassin, practical defenses for business owners. And we're going to have CBiz, Stephen Nikakiris, and 2 people from Bank of Montreal, BMO, are going to be speaking. So that could be really good because small and medium-sized businesses are often the target of fraud. And then on May 28th will be our next in-person meeting. So that would be only for the people in the room who are in New York City, which include Christopher, Bernadita, and Melanie, and anyone else who wants to come to New York on May 28th, 5 p.m. We're going to be doing a potluck. So we're asking people to bring their favorite dish that reflects your heritage, and you need to respond online and let us know what you're going to bring. So we also will be having, we're going to have an offer once again from Shoda on having an opportunity to have your company featured for $750, which would be a 7-page special section in a magazine that he produces. So that's it. And I want to appreciate everyone coming. And Melanie, you can take it back to Mangwi if you want to give her a second chance. But we'll have this again next month at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. And Melanie, if you want to go back to Mangwi, you're welcome to do that.
Sure. So Mangwi, do you want to try that one more time just to get your final ask in? I can put on the screen the same template we had. But again, it was the quick version of what you do and then asking for the trauma therapists and see if you can get them from the room. So I'm going to put the timer on the clock if you are willing to try one more. Will you do it?
Yeah, real quick question.
Yes.
So I'm supposed to insert that at the end, right? In terms of
middle or
who I
end?
like to connect with, right?
Exactly. Just
Okay.
in the middle or in the end, just to make sure that you say, I would love to be connected with, or I'd love to meet, or great referrals are, or I'd love to refer back and forth with trauma therapists. Do you know anyone who specializes in trauma, or maybe, or otherwise works with patients that experience health trauma? Maybe you give the one thing and then leave the door open for other folks who work in the trauma with patients who experienced like a medical trauma or something. So again, make it your own, but make sure the ask is clear so that I would know when I go to my LinkedIn, who am I typing in? All right,
Okay.
let's go. All right.
Okay. Hi, my name is Mangwi Fan, and I work with women who have survived major life challenges and are now in the survivorship phase of rebuilding their lives. And pretty much people that and I help them rebuild identity, restore confidence, and rediscover purpose in what I call their second chapter of life through structured programs and guided reinvention conversations. The result is to move them from feeling stuck after survival to gaining clarity, emotional strength, direction, and for their next chapter. I love to connect with trauma therapists, patients that have people that work with patients that have had health trauma, and our leaders are working with women in recovery, survivorship, or healthcare transitions or personal reinvention who may be open to collaboration or referrals. Thank you.
Excellent. So again, it was just a little long, but I think you could just trim. So these would be the things. Don't say who would be open. Just ask for the referrals. Nobody knows who'd be open or not. If they think the person is very unopen, they will not ask that person. So just remove some of that language. And in the beginning, just tighten it up. I think it's that you're so passionate about your area that it went a little long, but all you would need to do is say, okay, if I had 60 seconds, which you might, that would work in 60, but it wouldn't work in 30, and you don't want to go fast, right? So in 30 seconds, I would just take again, my take on it would just to say, I work with, you were very clear in the beginning, the women who have experienced health trauma, and I have a program that builds a roadmap so to help them transition to their next chapter. Something like that. I don't need to know exactly how it works. I just need to know that you take people from health trauma to their next chapter, and that's clear enough for me. And then you want to meet the people that also work with patients in trauma, like trauma therapists or anyone else who works with folks that experienced a major, or women who experienced major health trauma. And then you can just wrap up with your name and company name, and there you've got your 30 seconds. So I think you've got the 60-second version, and now you just got to make some edits to get the 30. But that was great. Thank you so much for allowing us to listen to your ask. And please, as we heard from Nikki and Mangui and Leon, please do get them the referrals if you have some for them. Please share. All right, so I will stop there. If anyone has a question, please raise your virtual hand now or type in the chat, or I will assume that everyone is set. Okay, I don't see anything. And thank you so much, people, for participating, for listening, for smiling. And now, just to rock out at the end, I always have a second song. So I can't be complete with just one song. Here to, oh, sorry, my screen is blocking again. All right, to rock us out at the end, we've got da-da-da-da. All right, we've got a song which is people bragging, the best kind. In K-pop, they are saying that they are the best. So let's hear this empowering song, and please dance it out with me.
내가 제일 잘 나가. 내가 제일 잘 나가. 내가
Oh, sorry. Wait, that's coming back. Uh-oh. It always happens to me.
Yeah, we may be getting cut out since
제일
30
잘
cut out.
나가.
This will be done in 30
제일
seconds.
잘 나가. 제일 잘 나가. Oh my god. どこから見ても先っこじゃない。Right。2番目なんてリリース最低じゃない。Right。何追われてるでも僕は走ってあなたのテーブルで踊ってる I don't care。一目惚れしちゃう I'm high
I think Apple took this and put it in the commercial there. It got popular.
Stepping up in the spot. Check my hair.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Susan, for hosting and emceeing. And I hope to see you guys again soon.
Okay, everybody. Thank you. Hopefully see some of you next week. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.